All right, what is going on, everybody? Good morning and welcome to the Touchdown Talk. I am one of two of your hosts. My name's Chris, and I am joined by the football fantasy fantasy football guru, Mr. Pablo Martinez. Pablo, how the hell are you, buddy?
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I am doing excellent, and I'm happy to be here to review another week of NFL football and fantasy football. And week 11 is here. The final 4 weeks of the regular season are upon us.
Wow, I was thinking about that this morning right before I went on because we haven't been on for 2 weeks and we were on a bye week. In between these 2 weeks, Pablo was away on vacation. I moved, so I've got a whole new setup that's still being set up. I'm just in my second bedroom right now, like broadcasting. This is where I set up my desk, so this is kind of where my studio is going to be for now. But I am back. You're back. And yeah, we're here to give you the final 4 weeks of fantasy football action, playoffs knocking at the door, man. And boy, oh boy, the two leagues that we're in are really heating up. There's so much still going on NFL action wise between injuries, starts, sits, swaps, unexpected sleeper hits. We're getting everything. I mean, and we're getting to see, Thursday night we had a great game. The Jets and Patriots just looking like they really haven't missed a beat. It's like, what, 3 years, a 3-year rebuild, and boom, right back at it, 8-2, looking like they might be a real contender here going into, NFL playoff action. Man, they look good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
against the Jets, but they still look good.
They're not going to play the Jets every week, but still, they looked great. With that win on Thursday, they went up to 9-2. The Bills are at 6 with a game to be played this weekend. But still, I'm happily surprised to see those Patriot players put up fantastic production for fantasy purposes. Hendo with Travion Henderson, 5 touchdowns in 2 games for the rookie running back.
Yeah.
And his schedule is cake from here on out. So that's definitely one of those players that makes you get very, very excited if you have him on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to get excited. And let's just talk about, too, like some very quick pickups, which you may want to make. I mean, I probably scooped up now. I'm sure it is Saturday, but hey, this is why. You never know who's on your waiver wire. People do fall asleep during the week, so, you can maybe find some gold. Jameis Winston starting for the Giants this Sunday. Russell Wilson benched. Of course, the rookie Jackson Dart in concussion protocol. So hopefully he gets well soon because, man, he looks great. But I love the Jameis Winston start. I mean, I think all Giants fans were scratching their head when the Giants went and signed Russell Wilson after signing Jameis Winston, which I was like, this is perfect. Jameis Winston's going to be there. He's going to get the start. Jackson Dart's going to learn from him. This is going to be great. And then they go and they sign Russell Wilson, who literally looked terrible for 3 games, except the Cowboys game, which, Giants should have won that game. But regardless, we're finally getting Jameis Winston, and at the very least, with a crummy season that we've had, even though we've had some good bright spots with Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart, 2 of which are injured, Malik Neighbors injured, all 3 guys that you wanted to see play this year, all out injured. And hey, but at the very least, we're going to get some Jameis Winston action this weekend.
Yeah, to me, I'm excited to see Winston. I'm very, very optimistic and hopeful, but I want to say that in my eyes, from my perspective, Winston is the ultimate risk reward player. Like, there is going to be a day, I think, where Winston is just not going to be that fantastic guy that for fantasy we love, and I'm fearful that it might be now. Hopefully, it isn't. Maybe it's later, but he's one of those quarterbacks that always gets all of us fantasy managers very, very happy to see him on the field. But he definitely is going to bring some risk. So just let's temper our expectations and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's gonna pass all up and down the field, and he's gonna wind up, he's gonna have completions, and he's gonna throw like 6 picks and maybe still win the game. But still, from a fantasy perspective, yeah, he may get some touchdowns, but those picks will hurt you fantasy point wise. But still, listen, I know there's a lot of people in the league hurting for QBs. A lot of guys are still injured. Some are starting to kind of come back. I mean, it looks like Joe Burrow might be back soon, looking like it potentially, but nothing, not this week. I don't think. I don't think he's been. I don't
Not
think
this week,
he's.
no.
Yeah, not this week. But some guys may be coming back. But listen, Jameis Winston is. If you're really hurting for a QB, Jameis Winston's definitely somebody on your waiver wire that you should be picking up. So once again, everybody, I want to invite you, if you are watching us live on YouTube, if you're watching us live on Facebook, we're also out on Twitch. Feel free to drop some fantasy football questions in here. We will do our best to answer your questions as best we can and give you some fantasy football advice. Also, you can listen to the show anywhere you get podcasts after the live stream as well. And of course, we're live streaming this right now over on RadioGardenState.com. And then the video version can, of course, be seen at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So let's get into it. Week 11 action. So much going on. Let's start with some of our start recommendations for the week, Pablo. I'm going to throw out some names to you, and you let me know if this is somebody you should start and sit. We'll start with some quarterbacks. Okay. I'll throw at you. Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett. All right. So Brissett, I think, is definitely one of those quarterbacks that is going to be lifting a lot of different teams towards the tail end of the season. Although he's not a quarterback that that in the past has proven to be like a rock solid guy. He's a backup. He's a backup for a reason.
Right.
But we got Kyler Murray confirmed to be out on IR for several weeks, for the foreseeable future, in my opinion. And I'd be happy to have Jacoby Brissett in my lineup. The schedule for Brissett is not terrible whatsoever. So I think that in terms of start sits for this week, let's just take one last browse at Brissett here. He's going up against San Francisco at home. I definitely think that Brissett is a strong play for this weekend. I don't know in terms of start sit if you had another player to compare to, but I would be trying to get Brissett in my lineup if I could.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I mean, I think that if he's on your roster, like, you absolutely have to start him for sure, because he's definitely been somebody that's proven over the last few games that, he can make some stuff happen for sure.
Yeah.
And once again, I mean, we're in a case right now where there's a lot of guys that are down, and, he's somebody that let me ask you this too, because a lot of leagues are coming up on trade deadlines. Is he somebody you would trade for? Would you make a trade package for Jacoby Brissett I guess if you're really hurting for QB, because I got a feeling that as long as he's playing well, I can't see them wanting to go back to Kyler Murray. I mean, honestly, he's not a good quarterback. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's come on, and I'm like, if you're talking about starting, winning for starter, I feel like Jacoby Brissett's kind of proven himself that, he should at least start until he is playing better than Kyler Murray. So I don't know. Would you go out as a trade with him?
I would. I definitely would, especially because, Murray's on IR. So you have, unless and barring injury, Brissett is going to be on the field for probably the rest of the regular season. And he has been doing well enough that I would definitely make a trade for him if I was in the need of a starting quarterback. In our LOAMP league, we just had a trade with Brissett in. It's a super flex league.
Yeah.
And somebody traded away a wide receiver. It was Jameson Williams for Jacoby Brissett straight up. And, that's something that we can talk about once we get there. Williams, a solid wide receiver who hasn't had a great season so far, but has a really nice schedule, seems to be turning it on as of late. So, sure, if you can find a trade to acquire Brissett, I definitely think that it would help teams out there for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got a quick question coming in from YouTube. JKey420, great name, bud. I'm in a tough spot right now with my two QBs. His two QBs are Stafford and Nix, and I'm wondering if I should drop Nix for Dak, who just got dropped to waivers by a team that already had Mahomes. So once again, the question is that he's got two QBs, Stafford and Nix, and he's wondering, the question is, should I drop Nix for Dak, who's just recently dropped to waivers in his league? Good question.
So I'm going to assume this is a single quarterback league. And we're looking at who's going to be the backup quarterback on the team, on the roster for fantasy purposes.
Right.
I know that Dak can be hot and cold, but I want to say he's been consistent enough this season that you kind of know what you're getting with Dak.
Right.
And Bo Nix, who's a kid who I liked a lot, I have him on several of my rosters. He, excuse me, he
Yeah.
has
No problem.
been having some games where he hasn't, this last one especially, he hasn't been, putting up those fantasy points that we were expecting. He does have a bye coming up, so I mean, take that into consideration for your roster if that's something that is going to affect the rest of your team and the rest of your play with
Hmm.
Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford already had his bye, so I guess that's not going to affect Jay Keefe in this case. So I
And
think
he's coming in saying single quarterback, and he's got Puka and CD as his alphas.
I think that it's a fair question to ask. I do like Dak maybe a tiny bit better, but if we're talking in a single quarterback league, if we're talking um, a backup quarterback, assuming you're going to keep Stafford in your lineup, I guess it's I would probably lean on adding Dak to my team over
Yeah,
Nix.
I think so too. I think right now, I mean, from a fantasy standpoint, Dak seems to be getting some more points. Knicks has been on a little bit of a slump lately, although they may not last. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you, my friend. All right, very good. Hey, thanks for your question, Jay. Appreciate it. All right, another name I'm gonna throw at you, Jordan Love.
Mm.
Start or sit?
So Jordan Love for this weekend, he's playing against the Giants. Is it? Yep,
Yes. Yep.
playing
Green
against
Bay.
in New
Green
York.
Bay in New York. Is he a start or sit?
Mm.
I feel like from my perspective, maybe the Giants are going to be a little re-energized here potentially. Some big changes, obviously firing head coach Mike Kafka now taking over duties. Reports were that he sat down with Shane Bowen, which is what all Giants fans we've all been crowing for. Like, I can't believe he wasn't shown the door as well. But it literally must be they must have no one else to replace him at the moment. So by default, he has to stay there. So hopefully Kafka got all over him. Maybe we'll see some changes to defensive schemes. Maybe we'll see a revitalized Giants. I mean, obviously we all love Jameis and he's a good morale booster. And you're gonna get touchdowns, sermons, funny stuff, and probably a bunch of picks all in one game. But I don't know, man. It's tough. I mean, I'm a huge Giants fan, but like seeing the way the Giants defense has played, they can't seem to finish an entire game defensively. I feel like Jordan Love is a start for this weekend, but that's, especially if you're in a 2 QB league and he's on your team, I think you got to fire him up.
Yeah, I think I would too. Yeah, the Giants have been so far this season one of the most generous teams for quarterbacks in fantasy football, and I think that Jordan Love's been playing well despite having a couple of weeks here in a row where he didn't really put up strong performances. I think this might be, with a new coaching staff, this might be a prime spot for Jordan Love to bounce back. So I would definitely start Jordan Love if I had him on my team.
Yeah. All right, cool. Very good. All right, another name here, Trevor Lawrence.
T-Law. All right.
T-Law. Is he a start or sit this week?
Trevor Lawrence is a tough one. He has not been having a great season. I've got him in my LOMP league, and he's got a tough matchup. He's playing at home against the LA Chargers, and the Chargers are tough. Last week against Houston, Lawrence didn't do so outstandingly well.
Right.
I would say, if with buys and injuries, if you're in a pinch and Trevor Lawrence is on your team and you don't have anything comparable, like if I had Jameis Winston, I'd probably start Winston over Lawrence, just to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be too tremendously excited to start Lawrence.
Right. Okay. Very good. And let's see. Another name I'm going to throw out there. I believe they're playing this week, so let me check that out. Let me make sure I'm confirming that. Okay, yeah, they are playing this week. Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Is he somebody you should be firing up this week? They are playing LA, that 4:05 game, going up against LA.
Yeah, playing against the Rams. So with Darnold, here's my take on Darnold. I have him on one of my teams in my dirt league and in our dirt
Mm-hmm.
league, and I'm I've been very very happy with Darnold with some of his boom games. He's had
Right.
like strong performances, but he's been very very intermittent. Like this past week, he didn't have double digits, and he's had other games where he struggled more, even though his team is super strong. So it's a risky play. I would definitely start Darnold if I didn't have a choice. For example, in that league, I'm looking at starting either Darnold or Penix.
Right.
And oftentimes, I feel very, very happy starting Darnold, but there have been games where it hasn't been the case. So
Yeah.
if you, depending on what options you have, I think that you can definitely do a lot worse. Darnold is a great player to throw in your lineup and cross your fingers and hope for the best. But not every game has been fantastic, and I would just say, in this case, going into LA to play against the Rams, um, uh, I would start him if I had to, but depending on the other options that you have.
All righty. All right. So here's a couple. Let's see, a couple running backs. I think a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. Um, I mean, listen, if you got Devon Achan, you're firing him up. Bijan Robinson, you're firing him up. Kyron Williams, um, Woody Marks.
Woody Marks.
Woody
Um,
Marks, is he a guy you're going to trust this week? Are you going to throw him in?
it's been tough with Marks. I mean, the matchup is one of the best matchups you could hope for. Playing against Tennessee. Tennessee's been pretty bad all season on all fronts. So I would say, depending on roster construction, how many roster spots you need to field running backs in, there are likely not going to be too many better options than Woody Marks this week. But he's a rookie running back, and last week he had a good game, but it wasn't like that the week before. I would start him, but be cautious because he is a risky player.
Yeah. Nope. Very good. I like that too. Other running backs out there. I mean, I feel like the running back pool is getting shorter and shorter each and every week. Like more and more of these guys are going down, and then you're looking at some of these backups and even the third string guys, and we still have some weird running back committee things happening, like the Kenneth Walker and the Zach Charbonnet. Like I have in one of our leagues, I have the Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet running back committee. I mean, is this like, do you have to run the two of these guys? Like, if you have them both, do you have to start both of these guys? Because it seems to be game to game. You don't know who's going to go. And it seems like, in 1 week, Walker will get all the carries, but then Charbonnet's vulturing all the touchdowns. Like, yeah, and I know they're not the only running back committee happening, but I mean, what do you think, Pablo? Is this like something you just got to start to both these guys each and every week?
This is probably one of the toughest choices that fantasy managers have been facing, that we've been facing all season, because we all expected one thing, and now with Walker still healthy yet not dominating, we're all quite very surprised at what's going on. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. My personal preference would be to start neither,
Yeah,
because neither really have been dominating or putting up strong
right.
productions often. We've had a game or two here where somebody popped up with, Charbonnet, I think, popped off with a couple of touchdowns and had a good outing, but it hasn't been something consistent that you can trust. And that's why we find ourselves scratching our heads in terms of, do we start them both? Do we start one of the two? Which one do we start? My personal opinion, I would feel better if I could find someone else, especially this weekend, going up against a tough LA Rams run defense in LA. My if I had a different option that was healthy and I could plug into my running back spot, I'd probably look at that a lot more than I would these two backs.
All right, very good. I like that advice because I have the two of these guys, and I have Kenneth Walker starting and Charbonnet on the bench right
Okay,
now.
so
It's
fair
kind of how
question.
I
If I
have it.
had to, if I
Yeah.
had to start one of the two, absolutely had to start one of the two, I would probably go. I would probably I probably want to start Charbonnet only because I would be hopeful that he's going to find the end zone. It seems like Charbonnet's been getting more attention in the end zone than we all expected. So just for that reason, I think maybe I would. It's a dice roll, but
Mm-hmm.
if I had to start one of the two, I think Charbonnet is maybe the way I would go, but it's really close. It's really
Yeah, I
close.
mean, my brother's coming in with the carries. The carriers are split 50-50, but Sharp gets all the red zone work, which is
Yeah.
true. So maybe I should make the swap.
I mean, but it's still, you're taking a
Yeah.
big chance either way. So good luck with that.
Yeah, I traded for Sharp from McConkey earlier this year. That definitely worked out. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Jay coming. Ken coming in. Jay with a follow up question, by the way. Jay Key 420. Not sure if you guys saw my last comment, but also wanted to ask how are we feeling about the Ravens defense. They've been good the last 3 to 4 weeks and have a late schedule going forward. I mean,
So let's go
Ravens
back to
D, yeah.
the question was about the Ravens D. Yeah.
Yeah, he said and the previous question was if I'm snagging Dak off offers, do I go with Stafford versus Seattle, recently tough defense, or Dak off the bye? He's got a few questions here going on. So let's answer the Ravens question and then we'll go back to this other question that he had. So the Ravens question is how are we feeling about Ravens defense? They've been good 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, they've had a nice schedule for the past several weeks, and they still have some nice games coming up. They're playing in Cleveland this weekend, the next weekend against the Jets. I do like those that Raven defense for a stretch. They were not good to start the season, so this is a nice surprise that they have been putting it together in back-to-back weeks. And given that their schedule is a little bit soft, I would definitely. I have them in several of my lineups. I definitely would be starting the Ravens defense if I could.
All right, very good. Ken's coming in. Ravens defense has looked better by virtue of not being on the field all game. Lamar being back helps. Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
And Jay, thanks for subscribing, buddy. I appreciate it. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks for the question. And then I know you had one more, so I just want to go back too because you did have this. And this was because we were talking earlier about if you should pick up Dak. He said, all right, thanks, guys. I'm snagging Dak off waivers. Do I go with Stafford versus Seattle? Recently tough defense. Or Dak off the bye against the Raiders? Stafford's been really hot lately, but Seattle D has been good, and the Raiders are a terrible team. So could Dallas feast against, knowing that they got CD and George Pickens out there? I mean, the Raiders secondary is pretty bad.
It is, and Dak's been decent, but I'm looking at Stafford's last month. He had a bye in between there, but depending on your scoring format, he's been putting up 40 plus points, at least in the league that I'm looking at. It's hard to bench a quarterback after so many strong performances back to back like that. I might want to stay in the flames there with Stafford over Dak. That would be my opinion, but I do like the matchup better for Dak, going into Vegas. I don't know. What do you think, Chris? Who would you roll with?
I've had Stafford. I have Stafford on both my teams, and man, he has just been putting up huge points. Seattle's been playing good, though. Their defense has been good, but is it going to be enough to slow down Staff? I don't know. But I mean, the Dak Prescott going against that juicy Raiders who are just terrible. I don't know. And Dak's been putting up good fantasy numbers too. It's a tough one, man. Yeah, you throw. Yeah, okay. My brother coming in with some good. You throw against Seattle, you can't run on them.
Good point.
Good point.
Yeah, I think
good point.
I might stick with Stafford in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I've trusted him all year long. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd ultimately go there. I would go Matt Stafford. Trust in Stafford. Yeah. All right, very good. I appreciate it. All right, we have been doing these start sits. If you're just tuning in now, we got a few left, and then we'll move on. So a couple other start sits. Looking at here. Just gonna move on to some wide receivers. Jalen Waddle.
All right, so he's the wide receiver one on the team with no Darren Waller, who's out still on IR. So despite traveling, I think they're going to Madrid this weekend. They're playing tomorrow morning in Madrid. I would still start Jalen Waddle probably over many other wide receivers. He was playing against Washington. It's not the strongest defense in the secondary, so I definitely think Waddle's a strong play for this week.
Yeah, I like that too. I mean, I've had Malik Washington, and I picked him up because I thought maybe he might turn into something. But honestly, in both leagues too, we don't. He's been he does a lot of kick returns, so it's not something we have point. We don't do points for any of that in either of our leagues. So he's just been really on my bench for the most part. Every now and then I kind of threw him in, but unless something I think happens to Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington's really not getting a ton of. I mean, it's basically been the two big things there have been Devon Achane and Jalen Waddle. If
Yeah.
you're rolling with Miami,
Yeah, Tua's been decent from a quarterback perspective because he's one of those quarterbacks who's never consistent throughout the year. And
yeah,
so far this year, it's been pretty favorable.
yep. No, he has been very favorable, and I think it seems like after they fired their GM, the Miami all of a sudden looks really strong. I mean, geez, who would have thought that they would have beat the Bills last? I mean, we all thought that was going to be a bloodbath, and like they beat them.
Yeah, no. It's been great to watch, and yeah, I think for Waddle, the arrow's pointing up. He's the guy. He's the reference. So he'll likely have a good week and a good rest of the season. As long as he can stay out healthy.
Yeah. All right, Jay Keefe coming back in with another quick question. Hey, Jay, thanks for all the questions, by the way, man. It's great. We love the questions. My 10-man money league, I'm in a tough spot this week. I have to pick 2 out of 3 of these guys to start. Maybe y'all can assist. Kyron versus Seattle, Zay versus Cleveland, Chase Brown versus Pittsburgh.
So pick 2. Chase Brown. Let me check out Brown versus Pittsburgh. Is a little bit of a hard matchup there.
And just some follow-up from me. The biggest thing for me is both Ravens and Bengals are without a position player this week. No Bateman for the Ravens. Well, I've been one of these guys that's been holding on to Bateman all week, have not all season. Haven't started him. I am just about ready to drop him. I'm tired of him just taking up bench space, doing nothing. And no Sam G. Perrine for Cincy. Could that lead to a higher volume for Bray and Zay? For Brown and Zay, sorry. And Kyron's been good. I would if you got Kyron on your team, I would absolutely start him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although we did just say though, I mean, to my brothers, it's going to be tough to run against Seattle. So
yeah, that's very true. But I still, I'm a little biased with Zay Flowers. I'm not confident in him. He should be dominating. He should be the wide receiver 1. He is, but he's on a team that doesn't really prioritize the passing game, right? So that's why Zay Flowers he's been decent as a flex start, but if you need a strong play, I would probably not expect a great outing from Zay Flowers. I'd probably take the other options just in hopes of higher upside.
Yeah. My brother's coming in saying Brown for sure and Flowers. That's my brother's coming in and giving those two picks to Jay's question. Yep.
All right.
His picks are that. So I am probably going to drop Bateman. I mean, I'm sick of looking at his name on my bench. I mean, I think we're all safe to drop him at this point, right? Am I wrong about dropping Bateman?
I definitely think you can do that.
It's safe to drop him. Alert on the league if anybody wants to pick up Bateman. He's coming your way on the waiver wire. So let's talk about this super quick because a lot of trade deadlines coming up. Our league is the 22nd. I know some leagues may have passed already, but some are coming up. Pablo, any trade advice for people out there as we begin to get down? I mean, we were talked about. We're like coming down to the end. Playoffs are around the corner. Any good trade advice? Any good pickups that people should really be keying in on, or anything that you can give folks out there?
Well, I mean, so this is prime time for last minute trades here. Several leagues, this might be the last week for trades. You might have a little more time depending on your league format, but there are many recipes here for success. There's not just one way to go. Right. However, I typically try to be a fan of trying to find a way to combine points that are not going to help me in my starting lineup. This is the time where you need to evaluate depth
Hmm.
over firepower in your starting lineup. And it doesn't work in every league. It depends on what your roster looks like, how well
Right.
you've been able, and how lucky you've been able to be to put together a strong team with a lot of players. And if there's a chance that you can find a way to package several really good players to go get one of those elite guys, this is the time to do that. And the other way around, if you have an elite guy, but you're not looking like you're close to making a playoff push and you do want to do that, this is the time where you need to make a choice and you need to take a chance, and it might pay off and it might not, but if you stay put, there's likely less of a chance that you might reach those playoffs or get that championship if you feel that your team is not up to par with some of the top contenders in your league. I'm going to give one example in a league that we're not in together, Chris, but I recently made a trade. It's another league I'm in with Viviana, and when she
Hmm.
saw this league, she's like, "You're nuts! You just traded away half your team. Like, what are you doing?" So I made a playoff push. I'm high in the standings, and I'm gonna be in the playoffs. So I wanted to go acquire Devon Achan because he was on the
Right.
trade block. All right, the trade manager had him not in playoff contention, had him on the trade block, looking to trade a high value name for multiple contributing pieces. And this is a super flex league. It's a
Hmm.
team where I had 3 quarterbacks, and they were really good. So I traded away. I traded away Darnold. I traded away Teteroa McMillan,
Right.
and I traded away R.J. Harvey, who we haven't talked about today, but
Yeah, you're
R.J.
right.
R.J. Harvey is a rookie running back who just got promoted to RB1 because Dobbins has come out with an injury that is going to put him off of the field for the foreseeable future. So 3 starting assets that the recipient immediately was able to plug into his starting lineup because, yes, he had Achan, but he didn't have a lot of other options. So I traded away all 3 of those players and Jawan Johnson. It was a 4-for-4 trade. Okay. And I got Achan and a couple of other small pieces that weren't really going to move the needle for my team, but I got that one gem that I
Yeah.
felt confident throwing into my team. And I think it helped both teams. I think the other team now is going to have a rookie running back that's going to hopefully come out hot and put up something similar to Achan, and also several other players out there. So be creative, find a team that you can find a way to improve both teams, and take advantage of the trade opportunities now because the window's closing.
Yeah, it really is. It's getting close. It's getting close. Jay just came in and said I traded Olave and Swift to someone for Trey McBride because he already has Kelsey as well and no solid running backs. After my trade, wide receivers are still London, Collins, Flowers, and Devontae Smith in a 10-man PPR. Good. That sounds great. That sounds great. Yeah, my brother coming in trade for depth, handcuffs, and people who can actually crack your flex.
That's it. That's also too. Yeah, if acquiring that Top Gun player is not an option, then yeah, start making deals now to lock in your handcuffs, secure yourself your backup, or other potential guys that have a path that only maybe depend on things that might shake their way throughout the course of the next few weeks, and now all of a sudden you do have a starting player. Sound advice there from Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and just a reminder, guys, if you're just tuning in right now, whether you're listening on Radio Garden State or checking us out here on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, this is the Touchdown Talk, and we do this show Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. And we, like I said, we're on RadioGardenState.com, which you can also listen to through the free Odyssey app, TuneIn app, and then, of course, you can watch us right here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, where you can participate, ask us questions, all that while we do the live. Afterwards, the show is then uploaded to an audio server where you can listen to it anywhere you stream podcasts. So hit that subscribe button right now so you get notified when we go live and reshare and do all the things. That way, you help the show grow and all that stuff that all the cool podcasters tell you to do each and every day. And thanks, Jay. Appreciate you. Shout us out in the comments. I appreciate it. What days y'all come on? Just said it. Saturdays, 10 a.m. we come on. So another comment here from my brother. My trade with Viv gave her a QB, which she really needed, and Jay Williams gives her a strong wide receiver depth. Absolutely. So let's get into that now. It's a good transition because normally what we do here is we'll go through one of the leagues that we're in, which is the LOEMP League, League of Extraordinarily Mediocre Peoples. Pablo and I also play another league called the Dirt Invitational. For timing purposes, though, we usually try to only keep it to one league right now. We used to do it, but we don't want to be on the air for 3 hours. So what we'll do is let's talk about what's going on in this league and where we're at. We're going to share standings, and we're going to do our picks. My brother was just talking about a great trade that happened here. So let's just look at real quick where we're at from a standings standpoint in this league. Team Keg is 7-3, first place. I was in first place for 1 week. I'm back down to second place at 7-3. Golf My Lawn. Scotta Boom at 6-4, number 3. Keith's Cool Team at 6-4. Bark at the Moon, you're in fifth place, my friend. That is your team, 6-4. And Manja Magic Viv, your beautiful, beautiful bride, is at 6-4. So look at this, nipping at each other's heels right here. Followed, looking in here, Swift kicking the pits at 5-5, stuck my dick at 5-5. So two teams looking to maybe make a difference this weekend and get themselves in the top 6. Gruden McGrudenface at 4-6. Super Lemaire Brothers at 3-7. CD's Nets at 3-7. And Go Suck a Dak at 2-8. Pablo, the window is closing, right? I mean, would you say the window is shut the door is shut on a couple of these teams for playoff contention? I mean, I think it's looking really grim.
Yeah, it's likely. It's likely. Mathematically, there's still a chance. And, we were just talking about some of the Patriots players doing well. Go Suck a Dak has invested heavily in those Patriots. And, boy, did they pay off handsomely. We're going to look at that matchup in a minute. But, if, the 12th place team, he needs to win out. He also depends on at least one other team losing out all the way, and then several other matchups in between falling his way. It's a tall order. It's not likely, but there's a chance, and he's got the firepower now. You see all those points coming in. I wouldn't lose hope, but it's difficult. And hopefully, even if teams out there don't have playoff aspirations anymore, there's still some kind of strong incentive in the bottom half in the consolation bracket. Find yourself a reward that you don't want to receive, like a trophy or something, and keep playing, stay motivated, because the game is fun all the way throughout the end of the season, even if the playoff chances are no longer there.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And just for context, you guys heard, but we are a 12-person league, full PPR, and it's a keeper league as well. So that's a little bit about this league if you've been following along. So, all right. So we've got some great matchups coming up this week, and Yahoo has a designated, because we play on the Yahoo Fantasy platform, designated matchup of the week is Keith's Cool Team, number 4, versus Scataboom, number 3. 2 6-4 teams duking it out. So let's take a look at that one. We'll start there. Right now, projections are really tight. 158 to 160, according to Yahoo's projections. Looking at our QB matchups, Joe Flacco versus Josh Allen. Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun game to watch throughout the week. I feel like both these teams are going to be duking it out for sure.
Yeah, strong play at the quarterback. I love seeing Joe Flacco and how well he's been doing this season.
Good for him,
about
yeah.
Burrow, potentially being back. And I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he does come back. But it's great to see Flacco on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And some other good firepower. We got Ladd McConkey, DK Metcalf, Nico Collins going up against Zay Flowers, who we were talking about earlier. Ricky Pearsall, who's been having a really great season. Him and Mac Jones have a nice little connection going on. You got A.J. Brown, Devon Achane, Kyron Williams, Tyrone Tracy, who's basically been elevated to, I guess, running back 1 since Scataboom has been he's out for the season. Travis Etienne, and then Howard. I love Harold Fannin Jr., man. He has really come on in Cleveland as a really good tight end play. So I love to see this. Dallas Goedert, and of course, Calvin Ridley, Quinshawn Judkins, and then in our super flex box, Marcus Mariota going up against Justin Herbert and streaming Dallas D versus Atlanta D. I mean, up and down this lineup on both these sides, man. This is tough. This is going to be a really tough one to predict who's going to come out on top on this one. I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I love, I mean, as a Jamar Chase manager, of course, I want to see Flacco hit that connection for sure. That's good for me. Josh Allen coming off of a disappointing loss in Miami, going into Tampa Bay, not an easy team to beat at all. Defense is good offense too. That freaking Tampa offense has been something else. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good one. I mean, I'd say the only spot on Keith's cool team I might be a little concerned about is AJ Brown. AJ Brown's really not been great from a fantasy perspective this year.
No.
And those wide receiver points could be really, when you look at Lad McConkey, Nico Collins, you look at what he's got on that side. Other than that, man, this one's going to be really close to call. I think I'm going to pick the underdog. I'm going to pick with Scottiboom in this one. An underdog by like 2 points, but I'm going to go with Scottiboom for this one.
Okay. Fair pick. Definitely two strong teams. For what it's worth, I think that this matchup is going to put one of them in a really, really great spot to clinch that playoff spot soon. After this week, there'll be 3 games out. They will still remain in the top 6. These are, 2 top 4 teams already. The team that loses this matchup is still going to be a strong contender. These are both really, really good teams. But for the sake of picks here, I'm going to go with Keith's cool team. I think that it's going to be super close.
Yeah.
But, it's all going to come down to which one of these players doesn't come through. There are a couple players here. We talked about A.J. Brown. We talked about Zay Flowers. On the other end, we're hoping to see production out of Tyron Tracy. Calvin Ridley has not been strong this season either. So
still listed as questionable with a hamstring injury, by the way. So, that's going to be something to watch, because those hamstring injuries, man, it's tough. Sometimes these guys start and they come back out because it just re-aggravates it. So I feel like it's a risky play with him. But that's how I always am. Those hamstring injuries are tough. Like, you just never know if the guys are going to finish the game or they're going to be limited.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So a very, very close one. For the sake of picking one, I'll go with Keith's cool team, but
all right.
Very, very competitive matchup.
All right, there you go. That pick is in. Let's move right down the line. We'll go to the next matchup right under that. Bark at the Moon, your team, my friend, versus Grudy McGrudenface. So number 5 versus number 9. Right now, you are projected by 10 points to win 159-149. Jalen Hurts going up against Patrick Mahomes, Debo and Puka, Devontae Adams and Tet McMillan, T. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy. Running back-wise, David Montgomery, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, DeAndre Swift. George Kittle going up against Mason Taylor, who we already saw here because he played on Thursday. 7 points there for Josh. Parker Washington and your super flex going up against Breece Hall, who did not have a very good fantasy night at all. Only 8.40 points, only 58 rushing yards, 2 receptions, and 6 receiving yards. In your super flex spot, Aaron Rodgers. Flex spot, Parker Washington. Your super flex, Aaron Rodgers, going up against Sam Darnold. And then you are streaming Baltimore D, who we talked about, in this Tennessee D, who I feel like they're being very generous with these fantasy points going into Houston. Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game at all last week. He looked terrible. But, Cincinnati defense is pretty bad. So this could be a good get-right game for him.
I hope so. Yeah, he's playing at home. He's one of those guys I think fares better at home than he does away. And, hopefully he could shake off last week quickly. And the matchup is fantastic. So fingers crossed Aaron Rodgers has a good week this week.
So how do you feel about Jalen Hurts going into Detroit, man?
Well, that's a much more difficult matchup. But here's what I think about Detroit. I think their defense is not bad. However, I think they're they don't care about giving up points as much. Their focus is not their defense. Their offense is their key piece. So I think this could be a potential shootout. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mhm.
I'm very optimistic about Jalen Hurts having a better game than last week. Last week he went into Green Bay, didn't really. I mean, they won the game. They did well, but it was a 10-7 game. They didn't do great from fantasy perspectives.
Right.
So I'm hoping this week will be a lot different.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams, you got him starting too. Listed as questionable, but it looks like he is trending to play with an oblique issue. So it looks like he's going to be okay. I mean, he had a really good week last week. And once again, we were talking about going into Seattle. My brother brought up the point before, like, you're going to pass against Seattle, not run. So could he be in line for a really big day potentially against that Seattle D? And if he's really healthy and he's going to play, I mean, I could see that being I could see that, breaking these fantasy point predictions potentially. He had a great game last week.
Yeah, I do hope he stays on the field. That's my most optimistic thought there is that he will play and he's been good. He's been.
I mean, his last 3 weeks, week 7 against Jacksonville, 26.5 points. Then they had a bye week. Then he comes back against New Orleans, 23 points. And last week in San Fran, 19.7 points. Yep. 19.70.
6 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. That'll definitely help. So hopefully he stays hot. Fingers crossed everything goes well for him.
Now, real quick, another player I just want to highlight before we move on here, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy had a great game against the Jets last week, 19.80 points. Going into Baltimore this week. Obviously, Josh, you're starting him. For Jerry Jeudy owners out there, are you feeling good or are you a little nervous?
Well, I mean, I think last week was the first game that Jeudy actually, came through and did something significant. I know this is in our keeper league, this was the keeper player that Grudy McGrudenface chose to keep from last season. And I'm sure up until now it had been disappointing. Last week was good. And, to be optimistic about Jeudy, let's mention that, his schedule going forward looks very, very nice. And, Dylan Gabriel has been able to be very, very serviceable
He's been very effective.
Yeah, for a quarterback that's young and doesn't have a lot of experience, he was able to move the ball around. I think that there is a world where Jerry Jeudy could be a second half, league winner, an important player. Is that 100% guaranteed? No way. But he is a strong wide receiver who has just had a terrible season, but has a really, really favorable schedule going forward. I would definitely be trying to get him in my lineup if he were on my team. I don't have him on any teams, but that's what I think about Jeudy.
All right, very good. All right, so let's put in our picks for this one. I think that you will be victorious this week, my friend. I'm going to pick Bark at the Moon for the win over Grudy McGrudenface.
All right, same here. Good luck, Josh. Off to not the best start on Thursday night, but there's still plenty of football to be played, so let's see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, there it is. All right, let's go to our next pick here. Next matchup, CD's Nuts, our number 11 team going against number 12. This is a battle for last place. Go Suck a Dak. And right now, Go Suck a Dak is projected by a landslide at the moment, 148 to 181, starting off this weekend already with almost 75 and a half points. Had a great Thursday night. Yeah. Stephon Diggs, 19.5 points. Trayvon Henderson, who we're talking about, 32.30 points. 2 rushing touchdowns, 62 rushing yards, 1 reception TD. Yeah. 1 receiving TD. And then Drake May, 281 passing yards, 25 completions, and 1 passing touchdown. So great spot for the last place holder right now to maybe move out of that last place spot. Looking at our QB matchups, we were talking about Dak Prescott, Davis Mills starting this weekend, going into Tennessee. How do we feel about that? Davis Mills, man, that is. I know Dunn's in a tough spot here, But man, Davis Mills, that's a real roll of the dice, huh?
Oh yeah, big time, big time, big time. I'm gonna say I like it this week. He Mills came out of nowhere because he wasn't on the field and he hadn't played in a long time, and did very very well against a pretty soft Jacksonville defense. This week he has a tougher game, but it's Tennessee, who's also not been great. It is in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I would feel confident believing that, with Mills in my lineup, I have a strong chance of putting up, you know, uh, competitive numbers. I'm not going to say he's going to put up another 36-point game, but he'll be decent enough to be competitive this week. But I mean, rest of season, it's really tough to think that Mills can carry a team. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I may offer a trade just to see if I can get a good piece here.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Yes, trade window's still open, so
Trade window is still open, so
make it happen. On the other side, though, with the New England players, this is a situation where Willie's team has a really strong chance. I'm sure he's not going to end up last with this team, and like for trade purposes, I wouldn't. I don't know. I kind of think that the window of opportunity to trade for Henderson is closed. That's very difficult to go acquire, a young running back who's now on the field. Right?
yeah.
Rookies typically take a while to really solidify their role. It seems like it's Henderson's time now, and I can't see Ramondre taking that away from him. Their schedule looks amazing. It's really really hard to go out and try to acquire Henderson now for trade purposes. If you have him on your team, enjoy it because it's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely. My brother coming in. Much rather Mills over Gabriel.
Okay.
All right. All right, there you go. Some quick opinions from my brother there. All right, so let's go with a pick here. CD's nuts going against Go Suck My Dak. I'm gonna go suck my Dak. I mean, go suck a Dak. 75 points, great start, projected 181. I love what I'm seeing here. May just be too much to overcome, and honestly, I'm not sure Davis Mills is going to get it done, and that is his only QB because in his super flex he's got Xavier Worthy. I just don't think Dunn's going to be able to put up the points to beat Willie, and I think we may have a switch in last place this weekend.
There's a chance. Yeah, these names are killing us, guys. These are tough to keep straight, But yeah, my pick will be. This is easy. Yeah, this is going to be Willie's team for sure.
Yeah, you got it. All right, here we go. Go suck a Dak. That's it. Willie's team. All right, here we go. Moving into Manja Magic versus Super Lamara Brothers. So number 6 going up against number 10. Right now, Manja Magic, the clear projected winner, the favorite according to Yahoo. Looking at our QB matchup, she's got Jordan Love. He's got Lamar Jackson on his side. That is his keeper. Then we go Juwan Jennings, Wandell, Romeo Doubs, DJ Moore, Troy Franklin, Alec Ayamore, CMC, Derrick Henry, Saquon, Javonte Williams, Trey McBride, Johnny Smith, Brian Thomas Jr., who is listed as questionable at the moment. Shamiri Dyke, that's a name I have not seen all season long. And we were talking about it earlier. Jacoby Brissett in our Superflex going up against Caleb Williams and then Green Bay and Denver. I tell you, Wayne, our league champ from last year, is in serious trouble this season. He has been plagued by injuries left and right. Hopefully, though, Lamar coming back will give him some help here. Last year, he came in, made it to number 6, and won the league. Are we still feeling like this could happen for Wayne this year, or is that ship sailed and he's just trying to stay out of last place?
I mean, it's possible. I'm one to never give up, man. That's the way you should play the game. Never, ever, ever think that you don't have a chance until mathematically you're out of reach.
Right.
It's tough though. He's 3 games behind 6th place with 4 games to go. He would have to be perfect, and he would depend a lot on other games falling in his favor because he could still win out and not make it. So I think it's a tough call for our current reigning champ. Good luck to you, Wayne. But I think that the season, doesn't look too bright right now. And in particular, this matchup seems to be favored by quite a bit to Manja Magic. So for picks, my pick is going to be on Manja for this one. But But yeah, best of luck to both teams and to the champ there. Hopefully, he can still make a playoff push.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am going to be picking Manja Magic for the win on this one.
All right.
That is my pick. That is my pick. Good luck to you, Wayne. Good luck to both of you guys, but my pick is with Manja Magic. All right, let's go to the top here. We've got my team, Golf My Lawn versus Suck My Dicka. So I'm in second place right now. And Tina's team sitting in number 8 at 5-5. I'm 7-3. Looking at our QB matchups, Jared Goff going up against Michael Penix. I did get a Buka. I acquired him in a trade a couple weeks ago, going up against one of my keeper I had for 2 years, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Wish I still kept it. I loved him. I loved playing him every year. He was great. Jamar Chase, Trey Tucker, George Pickens, Michael Wilson, Rico Dowell, who I acquired a trade from my brother. Kenneth Gowell, that was like a few weeks ago, I think. Kenneth Gainwell, James Cook, Jeremy McNichols, Evan Engram, who I just don't trust at all. And I don't know if I'm going to keep with that. Going against Theo Johnson, Keon Coleman is another. I picked him up on waivers, actually. Zach Ertz, Matt Stafford, and Nick Nesbrook. Yeah, and Seattle versus Jacksonville D's here. So, all right. Right now, I am the projected winner, 162-117. Pablo, thoughts?
So it's a tough one here for this matchup because there's a clear projection that indicates that your team is going to win. Your team has been super strong, one of the two juggernauts in the league, almost leading the league in points right now. You did for several weeks. Tina's team, I want to commend Tina's team here because she's been completely demolished with injuries. Marion Hampton, Tucker Kraft, Jaden Daniels, like Mac Jones, you name it. These players, unfortunately, have been injured often, and yet she's still only one game behind a playoff spot.
Right.
So there's still plenty of season left. Even if this week doesn't fall into your favor, Tina, I think that that your team is strong and can still make a really good playoff push. For the sake of picks this week, there's an easy pick here for me, and it'll be Golf My Lawn.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir. I will also pick my own team as well. I feel like I've got a good shot this year, and I did finally, after this last week, relinquish the, at least for now, highest points in the league. Right now, I think Keith's cool team is now the point leader. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get that back.
Just by a few points.
Just by a few points. Maybe I'll get that back. So, all right. Well, thank you, sir. I also picking my team as well. All right, let's go to Swift Kick in the Pits, sitting at 5-5 in 7th place, going up against our league leader right now, Team Keg, who took back first place from me last week, moving back into the top spot at 7-3. And Kev just looking in. He's right on the bubble here of making it in. Let's look at our QB matchups here. Bo Nix going up against Baker. JSN, Rome Ndunze, Drake London, who is listed as questionable right now. Rashi Rice, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Ashton Jentney, Jamar Gibbs. Aaron Jones, Sr., Josh Jacobs, Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce, Woody Marks, who we talked about, Rashid White. J.J. McCarthy fired back up here. He's been back now about a couple weeks. He's in the Superflex, and Amari DeMarcado in Superflex on the other side. So QB going and running back, and then Pittsburgh and New England D already getting some points on the board for Team Keg. Right now, Swift Kick in the Pits. Looks like a little bit of a landslide. Definitely in favor of Swift Kick in the Pits, 177-148. How you feeling, bud? What do you think about this matchup? I think this is I feel like this is definitely lopsided, but I feel like these projections are a little off.
I don't know. I see how we are where we are here with the projections. Team Keg, first place team, strong, highest points on the season, happens to have his key player Jonathan Taylor on a bye. So that obviously is going to affect your projections. He also doesn't have a second quarterback, Daniel Jones, also on a bye. So that to me clearly is why Team Keg is the underdog here and not going to be my pick for the win. I think Swift Kick in the Pits is going to come out with a victory here. I want to shout out Kevin for being the most active trading fantasy manager this season. For the rest of us here in the league, we got to stop giving Kevin our best players, man, because look at this team.
I know.
He acquired JSN via trade, acquired Drake London via trade.
Yep, I gave him Drake London a while ago.
Acquired now Jamison Williams. Doesn't even crack his starting lineup, even though he's a great start this week.
Yeah.
He's got that many really, really good players. So good for you, Kevin. For this week, it's the easy pick for me is Swift Kick in the Pits, who's not in the top 6. So this final stretch of the season is going to be really, really intense. I think we have several teams that are close. We have, I think, the top 2 with 7 wins, 4 teams with 6 wins, and then a few with 5. So Kevin here in 7th place, only 2 wins behind first, as we can see. It's going to be a really, really intense final stretch of our regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. And I am also going to go with Swift Kick in the Pits for the win on this week as well. So that is my pick for this one. All right, let's go into our final matchup we're going to talk about in this league. Actually, we talked about them all. That's it. I was like, I thought we had one more. Nope, we covered them all. We covered up all our picks. So once again, just to review our top 6 right now, if playoffs were tomorrow, Team K, Golf My Lawn, Scataboom, Keith's Cool Team, Bark at the Moon, and Manja Magic would all be in the playoffs. Once again, we have 2 bubble teams here, Swift Kick in the Pits and Suck My Dicka at 5-5, looking in. Gruden McGruden Face at 4-6. Can go on a run, can still make it in, but time is running out for Super Lamero Brothers, CD's Nuts, and go suck a DAC. So, as Pablo was saying, keep playing till the very, very end. Make those trades. Our trade deadline in this league is the 22nd, so lots of moves to still be made. Never give up, never surrender.
Absolutely. Yep. Keep up the good work, everybody. Enjoy your fantasy season. We're in the final stretch now. We're looking at 1 month of regular season and then playoffs. It's been great so far, and I'm excited for what's upcoming with the outcome of the 2025 season this year.
Absolutely, 100%. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out and for watching and listening to us. Of course, we do the show on Saturdays from 10 a.m. till about 11 a.m. or so. You can listen to us on RadioGardenState.com. That's where you can listen to us live on the radio, free Odyssey app, as well as TuneIn and Radio.net. And you can watch us over on YouTube, Facebook at the Touchdown Talk Facebook page. You can follow us there. And also on Twitch. So do all those things, follow us, and of course you can listen to this wherever you get podcasts as well. So all right, everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. Good luck. Oh, and by the way, just a reminder, we got an early game tomorrow. Early game alert. So 9:30 start, just as a quick reminder. So don't forget to check your lineups tonight or get up early tomorrow and check your lineups because we've got an early game tomorrow, which is, who is playing? Is that Miami tomorrow?
Yeah, Miami, Washington.
Miami, Washington.
Madrid.
There you go. Early game. So don't forget, guys. I hate that. You get like, oh, no. I didn't set my lineup. This guy's now not playing. So be on the lookout.
Yep. Fantastic. Well, good luck, everybody. And, enjoy your Sunday.
Yeah. See you next week, guys.
Listening.
Yep. Thank you. We'll see you then. And as I'm looking for the outro here, because I'm not fully prepared, here we go. See you guys.